of us are familiar with the musical legend of Paul McCartney, and as far as movie performances, about a week ago, I rented A Hard Day's Night, and it's just as fresh today as it was when it came out. You were like the Marx Brothers.
A silly movie, that. Yeah, well, that's what they said at the time.
Yeah, if you were one of the Marx Brothers, which one would you be?
Mo.
Mo?
Got to be.
But that's the Three Stooges.
Oh. Hang on.
Maybe with
just a minute. Rewind.
Groucho, Harpo, Chico, Zeppo.
No, the Marx Brothers, right, got it now. Who'd I like to be? Harpo.
Harpo?
Yeah,
the quiet one?
The quiet with the horn, yeah.
Okay, don't remain quiet now. I got some people who want to talk to you, please.
Or Little Mo, I don't care.
Little Mo. Mo Marx.
Yeah,
a tailor in the East Village in New York City. People, call Paul? Yes, you probably did. You're probably holding. You want me to get to you. Caller, what is your name? Where are you from? And you're on with Paul McCartney.
This is Brenda from Enid, Oklahoma.
From Enid, Oklahoma?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. You're on the air.
I wanted to ask Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you, if George ever asked you to do anything with the Traveling Wilburys?
No, that didn't come up, actually. I think that's a crowd that kind of George's friends rather than... Well, I mean, I know some of the guys. I know Bob, and I knew Roy quite well, but Tom Petty and the other guys, I don't really know too well. I know Jeff a little bit, but I think it's more George's crowd, really, that they sort of hang out, so that's how that came. But as I was saying earlier, there is a thought of that maybe George and I might get to write together, which could be quite exciting.
Yeah,
but it's just a kind of vague plan at the moment, but we'll get it together.
We will be looking forward to that. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Oklahoma.
Bye-bye. Listen, when I was flying over here, the fellow I sat next to on the plane asked me what I was going to be doing in London, and proudly I told him I'm going to be interviewing Paul McCartney. He said, you know, whatever he's touched has turned to gold. He has been a hit all through his career. Was there ever a time in your career, in your post-Beatles career, when any reviews came out and you thought to yourself, I've lost it, I don't have it anymore, maybe it was all a mistake?
Well, I mean, you know, I think there's always an element of that to everything I do. You know, I always sort of think, they shouldn't be paying me this money. I'm not, you know, I'm not him. I'm some little kid masquerading as this guy who is like the famous guy. So, I mean, there's always this little bit of disbelief in the back of my mind. I think Broad Street, the movie, you know, it didn't do well, and it wasn't that great a movie. At times like that, obviously, you sort of think, oops, you know, I've tried to make a movie and it didn't really come off. Well, there's a couple of good things in it, you know, but it's not the world's greatest film, and of course you're hoping that it will be. So there are times like that that you think, oh dear, you know, maybe I've dried up or something. But as I say, I've often thought that, and then what happens is a week later, something good pops up. With the Beatles, the big thing we always used to say was, we'd say, well, what are we going to do now? We'd say, something will happen.
Something will happen.
Something will happen. And that always carried you through to the next little event, and then something else happened, you know?
And he hasn't tried up. Folks, Flowers in the Dirt, Paul McCartney's new album. You've got to check it out. All right, we've got some callers on the line. Caller, hi, I'm Bobby Rivers, and you have Paul McCartney waiting to take a question from you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Mark Jagger, and I'm no relation to Mick.
Yeah, that's your story.
And I'm from Cadillac, Michigan.
Hi.
I would like to know if you are ever inspired by music that comes to you from dreams. For example, I heard something one time about the song Let It Be, that part of the words or something of it was
we talked about
from
that.
a dream.
That's right, yeah, we talked about that with another caller. Just to add to that thing, yeah, it's a funny thing, really. I mean, I'm sure if you studied it, it'd be really quite amazing, but it does often happen like that. The way I see it is like you work in music and you're into guitars, you're into pianos and chords, so your mind's kind of thinking kind of musical thoughts, so you go to sleep and it can write a tune by itself. I mean, it is a bit spooky, you know, but with Yesterday, I do remember waking up one morning with the tune Yesterday in my head, and I thought, what's that? So I happened to be near a piano, sort of jotted it down and stuff. And I didn't believe I'd written it for weeks, because I thought, well, no, I just dreamed it. It must be someone else's. But it turned out to be something that I'd written, you know, but obviously, like, not how you really think you sit down and write, and it just kind of came to me. So,
Yeah.
in some strange way, I'm but a vehicle. In some strange way, Bobby.
But
And
aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for calling, all right?
Could I ask him one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
He said, all right.
I heard that, okay, and this is in addition to that, kind of a similar idea.
Yeah.
I read a book one time, it's called Unfinished Symphonies.
By Schubert.
And it was about a woman who claimed to have contacted the spirit of Beethoven and some of these other guys, and
Oh, yeah.
these apparitions would appear to her, and she would get music from these guys.
Mhm.
Have you ever encountered anyone or anything on that order?
No, I must say, I think I've heard the stories you're talking about. No, I must say, I've never experienced anything like that. In fact, I'm not really a great believer in all that kind of thing, only really because it hasn't happened to me. You know, I don't deny that other people it's happened to. I'm sure it has, you know.
You mean the afterlife in general? You don't?
All of that, ghosts and stuff. I mean, you know, a lot of people believe in ghosts and believe in spirits of people. I kind of sort of believe in it, but because no spirit has ever actually come to me and said, Paul, take this down, or something, you know, I don't have any reason to believe it, if you see what I mean. Okay. But no, so no Mozart or Liszt or Brahms has appeared unto me.
Okay, thank you very much, caller, for your passable question.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day. Listen, we got a couple of minutes left. I think probably got a time for one more caller. One more lucky person has a chance to talk to Paul McCartney. Caller, how are you? Bobby Rivers, Paul McCartney in London. What's your name? Where you from? And give us your question, please.
My name is Ann Krause. I'm from North Carolina. I'm 22 years old, and I was just curious as to whether when his tour starts and where, and if he's going to be coming anywhere near North Carolina.
Okay, thank you for your question.
Well, we basically what we're going to do is like release this album, Flowers in the Dirt, and we're rehearsing as we do that. So after that, I think we're going to start gigging around Europe in September, but I haven't got any exact dates yet, but I think it's going to be in September. And I think we're heading towards the States next year sometime, but we haven't actually got the date, so I can't really give you any firm dates yet.
I want to thank all of you people who've called in. You know,
Yeah.
we'll be looking forward to those firm dates. Because you're such a global star now, can you go to small places like small southern cities and play small clubs?
Yeah, if you want to. Sure, you know, I mean, I know what you're saying is that the tour promoters say, well, we've got to go to the big places only. It's going to be difficult to know how many of the smaller places you can get to. But what I'd like to do kind of is just, ones we miss, just sort of hop in and just play a club or something. I mean, I like the idea of doing that.
Yeah.
So in some way you can kind of contact them. And
What's been the most driving force in your life, Paul?
driving force in my life? I don't really know. It's kind of, I don't know, I'd call it growing up or something. I don't know, really, just, I don't know, honesty.
Honesty?
Hopefully. I suppose, you know, I mean, I can't really think of like a driving force. You're just sort of born and you find yourself here. And
I asked Michael Caine one time, and he said insecurity. I never would have thought that, but he said he
well, that's a good one.
That's a good one for
I mean,
you too?
that is a good one. You know, it is like that little bit of sort of fear that keeps you sort of working, trying to do something better. I can see that, you know. It's not, it doesn't drive me, the insecurity, you know.
In 2006,
Yeah.
you'll be 64.
I will.
We'll love you in 2006 when
But
you're
will
64.
you? But will you still feed me, Bobby?
I'll feed you whatever
Feed
you
me.
need. Thank
Okay.
you
So-
for, like, practically for all of us. I've grown up to you, grown up with you. This has been an honor to sit
Grown
here
up
with
from you.
Grown up from
Grown
you.
up by you.
Your music was probably the reason some of these fans are here. You know,
All
some of the
right.
love ballads. Paul McCartney, God bless.
Robert, thank you.
Thank you very much for
Okay,
taking time to be with me. I'll never.
Good man.
Would you please sign my autograph
No.
book? Oh, come on,
Anyway,
Smokey Robinson and Meryl Streep
all
were
right,
there.
just for him, I'll do it.
Okay. You signed that, and I just want to hold it here. You
Should have
find a
just
page.
got up and walked off. No, way!
No. You find a page. Folks, Mr. McCartney's new LP, Paul McCartney, Flowers in the Dirt. He is a flower, a good man. Thank you for being with us. VH1 in London, Paul McCartney, Bobby Rivers. Have a good life.
Yeah, have a good life from me too. I like that one. Good life.
Yesterday, love was such an easy game.